Hey guys, welcome back. So our tabs are mostly styled now. The only thing left for us to do is to actually implement this active color. So whichever one is currently clicked on, we need to make sure it goes blue. So there's a real simple way to do that. We just need to take a value from the URL. So at the top here, we get this search term variable. And what we want to do is get this type variable. Because like I said before, the search page is always going to be the page we do the search on, even if you click on images. So if you click on images, the search page is still our page. Okay, the only thing different is this type variable. All right. So what we need to do is take this type variable from the URL. Now we currently don't do that. So what we're going to do is start by getting that from the URL. So just like we did over here, we're going to do the same thing below. So if you want, you can copy and paste that whole if else block and then paste it below and change term to type because that's the name of this variable. So type equals sites. And then underneath that, if it's not set, so if there's no type value set in the URL, we don't want to exit. What we want to do is just default to searching for sites. So change this part to type because that's what our value in the URL is called. So type equals sites. So change that to type. So we're getting the type value from the URL, and this won't be the term variable, it will be the type variable. And then inside there, we won't get term, we'll get type. So great. If it's set now, we are going to store it in this type variable. But if it's not set, we don't want to exit. What we want to do is just say type equals and then default to sites. Because if you search from the home page right here and we search for something, you'll see that we don't have a type there. We just go to the default, which will be searching for sites. So this works great. If you wanted to do it one line though, you could do this. So let me just show you something. You don't have to copy this out. I'm just going to show you how you can do all of this part in one line only. You can say type equals is set, and then inside there, $sign underscore get, square brackets, double quotes, not term, type like that. And then you can do question mark, and then you can just copy that and paste it there, and then colon, you can just say sites. So this is doing exactly the same thing. It's saying type is going to be dependent on whether this is set or not. This is a conditional statement. It's saying if this condition is true, use this first value. If it's false, use the second value. So it's exactly the same as doing if else. So if you'd rather do this in one line, you can. If you want to do an if else instead, maybe you're new to programming and maybe you don't want to do this yet, that's fine too. It does exactly the same thing. But I'm going to use the one line just to save some space. But just know it does exactly the same thing. So anyway, now we have this type variable, which is going to contain the value from the URL. We want to go and use it in this tab list. And all we're going to do to specify whether a tab has been selected or not is just add a class to this li. So whichever one is set, we're going to add an active class to the li element. So it's real simple to do. We're going to say class equals double quotes and then do your PHP block, and I'll close it off as well. So we've opened a PHP block inside there, which is going to say echo. And then we're going to use a conditional statement again. This thing up here that I just showed you, this thing, we're going to do something just like that. So down here, we're going to say echo type equals equals, so $2, and then put in single quotes sites, then question mark, we're going to say active, and then colon, we're just going to do an empty single quotes like that. So what we're saying is if the type variable, which we set up here just now, we just got that. So if the type variable is equal to sites, then it's going to use this first value, which is active. Otherwise, it's going to use the second value, which is an empty string. So class is either going to be active or class is going to be an empty string. So we want to copy that class part again. So I'm copying that and I'm going to paste it inside this li. And instead of sites for this one, we're going to check if it's equal to images. So if type is equal to images, this is the active tab. Okay, so save that, refresh the page. And now if I click on this, so I've clicked on sites, you should see, if I inspect, you should see class active, and this one has class of empty. If I click on images though, you should see this second one has class active now. And then we can just add some style to this, which will make it blue if it's active. So go to our style.css, and all we're going to do is add 2 bits of style, just tabs container, tab list, li, and then dot active. So it's just saying the list item which is active, and if you really want, you could just not even specify that li. I think you could get away with doing it like that. So if you didn't want to do li, you don't have to, but I'm going to use li. Just like I said before, the more detail you specify these in, the better. So tabs container, tab list, li dot active with no spaces between them. I'm going to say border bottom is going to be 3 pixels wide, solid. So you can see already we've added a bit of a border, and now we need to specify the color, which I have written down right here. It's going to be 1A73E8, just like that, which is this blue color. All right. So the last thing to do now is to specify the color of the text itself. So underneath that, just one more thing, just say tabs container, tab list, and then same thing again, li.active, and then finally the anchor tag. So from the active li item, we're going to take the anchor tag itself, and then we'll just say font weight is going to be bold. So we want a thicker font, a bold font. And then lastly, we're going to say color, and the color is going to be this blue color. So you can copy and paste that if you want, colon, and paste that in there. And then you can see it's gone blue as well. So copy those 2 bits of style we just added, go back to style.css and add those at the bottom. So I'm adding those in there, and I'm going to save it, refresh the page, and that should be it. We have the blue right there, and if I click on sites, this is now blue. So it's that simple.